year or throughout the beginning of the year, you played three different positions through that offensive line. How were you able to just do your part and fill in the gap you needed to fill?
Basically, I would say the trust that our coaches have in me to be able to move from different positions. In our offensive line, we have like a standard that we have to uphold. So basically, we have to know every single position. With the rights, just 1 through 5 positions, we have to know everything. So like today, for example, I was in practice. I was in meetings, and he had quizzed each person, like on the O-line, what each person's job is for that certain specific play. So just preparing us just to have like a great feel for each position and things like that. So when I had transition, it really wasn't like anything new. Like going from right tackle to right guard was basically the same because I knew what I was doing because he had prepared us to do that.
And kind of speak on the development and the trust, how it's grown, how you guys have just been able to start firing on all cylinders.
Basically, I would say I just believed in the process ever since I got here. Like when I was getting recruited here, Coach Kelly and Coach Davis both showed me like what their plans were and the process that they had for me and different things like that. And I'm not gonna lie, at first I didn't really trust it. So at first I was like, I'm at right guard, like I'm at right tackle, just different things. I was just confused on what their plan was for me. But I was like, just stick to my plan, just do what they tell me to do, and it's been working out ever since. So I just trust their process and their plan for me specifically and their plan for the O-line as well.
What do you think about Coach Kelly has him able to communicate the preparation and just the plans so easily and have everyone buy in on it?
I just think we all, like, as soon as I first met him and as soon as the other guys that were here last year, they had told me when they met him, they just knew he was business, knew that the process worked, and basically trusting it, him building habits, him holding us to a high expectation. A lot of people know the program from last year and didn't really expect us to do what we are this year, but Coach Kelly basically had that envision the whole time, and we just all had to buy into that system. And I feel like it started slow, but once we bought in from the spring to now the sky's the limit. So, and you see what we're doing currently.
When you first came here, did you have the question in your mind, okay, can I play at this level? Or can I prove, or I'm looking to prove that I can go Florida International, right?
Yes, sir.
Go from that to SEC and Jordan Hare Stadium, the Swamp, all these places that you went this year. And do you feel like you proved it to yourself that, hey, I can play at this level?
Yes, sir. I would say in high school, I was very under-recruited because I was a late bloomer. I was like shorter, skinnier. I think my senior year of high school, I was like about like 6'4", 260. And I just didn't really get my shot. And I feel as though like I was always meant to play at this level. It's just I had a different path than everyone else. So basically, I just knew, like, not to be cocky or anything, I just knew I had like more in me, more in the tank, and that I could play at the highest level.
Is there a point that you can look back on as this team kind of grew and came along? Man, we didn't look so great then, and look at where we are now in terms of kind of the growth of the team and how you guys have gotten better?
Not really. I feel as though we had trusted the process, and basically we just stuck to it. Like the Florida State game we lost, the Tennessee game we lost, but throughout everything we had trusted this specific process. And I feel as though that just following week by week, doing the daily things like the habits, the questionnaires, things that we have to fill out, just different things, we all knew that the process would work, and we just basically trusted it. Like it was, like I said, when I had committed here, it was like a blind process. No one knew what was going to happen, different things like that. But like when I sat down with Coach Kelly and Coach Davis, like one-on-one, like you could see the vision that they had and like that it'll come true possibly in year one. So, yes, sir.
And seeing Will Campbell and Emory Jones, these two freshmen, I mean, what can you say about true freshmen that have stepped in and started and taken on these Alabama guys and other guys this year?
They're just very hungry. I told them I came in as a freshman and I had played and started as a freshman, but there are two different types. Like they embody the standard here. They embody the LSU tradition. They're always asking questions, working harder, coming in earlier, just different things. So working numbers in the weight room just going up as the season progresses. Just they're just a different breed of freshmen, and I love it. And I love working next to both of them, playing right guard, left guard, and it helps me to know that I have two confident people that can get the job done just with me right next to me.
a great weekend where you guys were able to clinch the SEC West, but Arkansas kind of got after Jaden more than we've seen all year.
Yes, sir.
So what did you guys talk about and look at that game and be like, this is what we need to fix moving forward?
We just had to come down from all the hype and different things like that. We just I feel like last week we got a little like just separated from our process that I told you about and different things like that. And I feel as though just trusting it, just coming back this week into that process, that we're all gonna like really rise to the top. It was just a different feel. We didn't really practice that well last Tuesday and different things like that. So I feel as though going into this week, just trusting that same process, we'll be able to get back into the flow of things like we were earlier in the season.
So how do you create that flow when it's maybe a lesser opponent in UAB, someone who you could easily overlook again? How do you get back to what you
We treat all the opponents the same, Alabama, UAB, because the standard's the standard. Like, we're going to over-prepare for Alabama, over-prepare for UAB, over-prepare for Tennessee. Whoever we face, we basically treat the process the same, and we don't want to underlook any opponent because opponents could catch you sleeping at any week. Like, you've seen Liberty beat Arkansas last week, 2 weeks ago. So, like, we just stick to the same process, and yes, sir.
And how fun is it having Jaden be your quarterback, someone who's not afraid to run and extend the play with his legs and keeps things active for you? There's always someone extra to block.
It's fun as on the field as well off the field. We have a great relationship. We talk to each other about like different things, different life things. Like he takes us aside to make sure we're straight and different things like that. So I feel as though our relationship off the field helps us on the field become more tight. And we don't want anything to happen to him because like we know like he's a great piece, a big piece to our offense. So we just want to make sure he's protected and different things like that. But I just think the off the field things translate to on the field things to like, because he's our guy, so we trust him. So,
As an offensive lineman, can you maybe speak to how frustrating it must be for other teams to have Harold Perkins kind of, wreck shop like he does, when the 5 offensive linemen are kind of doing their job, and here comes this number 40 flying in from left and right or whatever, huh?
Yeah, Harold Perkins is a dog, and basically coming here, I've never seen, just like you said, Emery Will, Mason Taylor, Harold Perkins, they're all just hungry, and it's a different level that I've never seen before anywhere else. And like when you see him make plays, like it's just expected. Like I go on the sideline after we go over what happened in our plays, I look up and he's making a play number 40, number 40, number 40. So I just feel as though like he knows the process and what he can do in this program. I just think he follows it as well, just to the T. So he's very confident, and that's how he makes plays.
You're a 5th-year senior?
No, I'm a true junior.
Okay, so you have another year after.
Yes, sir.
This
I
one.
have. So I played the first. I played the COVID year, but I only had 5 games. I played 4 games, and then I started the last game, and then I played last year, the whole season. So I have 3 years of eligibility left.
Okay.
Well, 2 after this year.
So, future, you're a big part of the future then.
Yes, sir.
So how bright is the future with those guys you mentioned and recruiting classes coming in and all that?
It's just really bright. A lot of people thought that LSU would be back on top in the future, but Coach Kelly and the rest of the assistant coaches saw that plan sooner. Like we talked to the strength coaches a lot, and they always say like, why not now? Why can't we be what everyone thinks we'll be in the future now? So I feel as though we'll just apply the same process, and then we'll have more like gel, we'll communicate better, we'll have like a lot of people back, and I feel like the sky's the limit.
It's very evident that just with every guy we talk to who comes in here, Brian Kelly has drilled into all of your heads. What's important now? Focusing on the next team, not getting caught up in last week or the week before. How is that mentality that Coach Kelly has kind of drilled into you guys? How is that kind of? How does the season reflect that? How does that show in you guys in the game?
I would say we just take everything one day at a time. So the what's important now piece just helps us focus at different points, like just at that specific time, at that specific game. So we know we're in the SEC championship, and we're not even thinking about that. We know a lot of people think that UAB is a lesser opponent, but we're treating them as a high opponent. So we just stick to the script so that we could handle every situation right then and there, so we could dominate each week. So when you look back, it's just piece by piece by piece, and then it comes together as a whole, if that makes sense.